Greetings! We're just out here in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountain range in eastern California, taking in this beautiful vista of the American River and the River Canyon. And I thought I'd take a moment to re-review a piece of equipment that I'm particularly fond of. It's the Hybridlight. And you know me, I like skill, not gear. I do not rely on gear, I rely on my skills. And I will trust gear and I will use it, but I don't rely upon it. But this thing, I actually feel like I could rely upon because it works so well. I reviewed this for you guys back in 2018 and it still works. It recharges by micro USB, or it's a accompanying little solar panel here. Let's see if we can plug it in and get it charging. But it's worked really, really well all this time. It's super lightweight. It doesn't have that great of a battery life. I'm putting it wrong. Put it in the right way, it works. But then there we go. If the light is on, we are charging. Red light means we are charging, and we've got some, broken clouds, kind of hazy stuff going on, but it still is enough to get that little red light going. See the red light? We're charging. And it's not supposed to have a very long battery life. It's not very heavy, though, as a result. And it's not very bright either, because it's not meant to be very powerful. It has two power settings. You either have low, bright, or off. And when the light turns green, that means you're fully charged, so we're not charged up yet. But I actually bought two of these because I accidentally broke the solar panel off one, because you got to be careful. If you bump that, you could break this little itty cheap plastic here. It's cheap plastic. It's not super sturdy. It's not gonna, survive it, falling off the cliff or anything, or being stepped on necessarily. But it is surprisingly tough in that I put one of these in a cup of water and it filled with water inside. I watched a bunch of bubbles go blib, 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 blib out of it, and I went, oh, I guess I just ruined my headlamp. And I drained the water back out of it, and it still works to this day, 8 years later. And I think this might be it. It might be the other one I have. That one was in my glove box for years and years. And every time I'd pull it out to use it, out of the glove box, it still held a charge. And I'm going, that's amazing. Usually, any headlamp I've ever had, I leave it for a year and, in storage or something. I come back and the batteries are corroded. They don't work. I'm like, great, need more batteries. And then clean the corrosion. No problem with this. No batteries to change out. And you can pretty much always rely on it being charged if you leave it out with this little solar panel on. So, for example, in the car, you can just stick it on your dashboard, go into work, come out after 8 hours, and it'll probably be charged up again and ready for you to use. And how many times have you been on the side of the road trying to fix something in the dark or deal with a car problem, and all you have is the phone light? And you can't hold it properly. You have to try and prop it up so it shines on the right place. This eliminates all of that, and it's so lightweight and small, you never notice it in your glove box. And you also don't notice it on your head. I've forgotten I was wearing it and walked around for hours and hours and then started searching for it, going, where the heck is my headlamp? And I randomly feel my head. I go, oh, dummy, I didn't realize it was on my head, because you just don't even notice it's there. It's so lightweight. It's wonderful for that. And of course, it's got the two-tone strap, so if you want to go stealth, you can go black, or see me, you can go white, which is kind of nice. So you can, and also it's adjustable, so you can cinch it down to your proper head size. I did break off that little corner there, just being careless, but a little Gorilla Tape fixed it. But normally, I don't usually go for gear too much, as you know. And there's very few pieces of gear that I'm gonna say, hey, that's a really great piece of gear. You should go for that. This is one of them. I'm very impressed by how long it's lasted, how durable it turned out to be, despite all the things I've done to it. The little lens there, you might be able to see, kind of fell in and is loose now. It kind of moves a little bit, and that's because I put too much pressure on it. That's my fault. It looks like the whole thing is kind of loose, but it still turns on and makes light. So it's like, okay, it'll keep going and keep going. You can rotate it, obviously. It rotates, this, you just twist it against its thing. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Oh, it's hard to do one-handed. But you can rotate it up and down, which is, pretty standard for headlamps. But I just really love the fact that you can recharge it with its own little solar panel. And so many times in the wilderness, I've been out for 5, 6, 7 days solo. I didn't bring any batteries. I just brought this. And every morning I'd put it out and charge it. And before the day was over, I'd have a green light fully charged, and then I'd have light for the evening. This isn't as utilitarian as you might think. It's good for up-close stuff. It's not going to see, all the way down there and spot the mountain lion creeping around. It'll reach, like, to the post right there. It's a good 10, 15 feet of decent illumination, and maybe 30 feet of vague illumination. It's much better for stuff here, like eating your food, reading a book, whittling, or, just doing camp chores, resewing something. You know, it's just a handy little kind of general headlamp. It's not an amazingly powerful thing with a huge spotlight like my Black Diamond had. My Black Diamond could go 100 yards of a beam. It was so powerful, and this is not that headlamp. This is just a basic one, but you never have to worry about it being charged. It's wonderful, and I just love that. I love that it's off grid, and I don't have to buy batteries constantly or throw away batteries, which are toxic to throw away. It's wonderful, and for 25 bucks, and I sure hope it's still 25 bucks. So yeah, things have gotten more expensive in the last 8 years, that's for sure. So I hope it's still somewhat affordable, if not 25 bucks, maybe 30 or 35. And hopefully they've also given us a different USB, because this is the micro USB, 8-year-old technology. Hopefully they've gotten the universal one so you can use it with all chargers, and it might be interesting to see if these actually will charge other things. I've tried that, and it does make enough power to tickle the charger of other devices like phones and things. I was like, there's just a little bit of power coming off of that. I don't know what the specs are. It's probably nothing. I mean, if it's a watt, I'd be surprised, 5 watts, that'd be impressive, But it's not about super fast recharging. It's not about huge amounts of power. It's just a great little reliable light in the darkness. And you can definitely rely on this thing to keep you illuminated in camp. So I would recommend it for sure. Now, 8 years later, that's enough of a test to know it's a good product. So definitely want to thank you for joining me for my re-review of the headlamp here at the beautiful, beautiful vista above the American River.